fun cars for only $2,000. Is that even possible, Mark? Mark, are you speaking out your booty cheeks right now? Yes, it is possible. All right, buddy, we're gonna go over 10 of them today. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. That is exactly what we're going over today. This is part 2 of a multi-part series that we got going on right now, where we're going from 1K all the way up to 100K, and in every video is going to be a 10 different cars. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50, 100K. In every video is going to be 10 different cars from any of the other videos. So if you watch every video, you can get 155 different cars for under 100 grand. Or if you only watch the first 10, then you still get 111 different cars for under 10,000, because every video is also going to have an honorable mention. So it's 11 technically in every video. So if you watch the first 10, obviously that's 111 cars. So 110. Not 111. I don't know why I said 111. 110 cars. Anyway, today it's under 2K. I hope you guys are excited as I am to do this series. It's a blast doing these series. I think I'm going to make it a yearly thing and then make a playlist. So it's like top 10 cheap cars 2022, 2023, all that stuff. I'm excited to do it. If you want to support the channel any more than you already are, head on over to www.smoothstance.com/shop to pick yourself up a hat, shirt, or shorts. I got a mic and it actually works, so I'm surprised. So let's go. Okay, so coming in at the number 10 spot is the wonderful 7th generation Toyota Celica GT. This car has kind of been like neglected within the car community, and I'll let you decide if that's a good thing or not. But it comes with a 1.8 liter inline 4 making 180 horsepower, and it was front wheel drive, sadly, but that is a pretty decent amount of horsepower for under 2 grand. 180 horsepower, that's not bad at all. And that engine that came to this car is actually the same engine that was in the Camry at the time. So that means two things. One, this car, it doesn't have a lot of potential. All right, you're not gonna be able to tune this thing up to be a freaking Hellcat gapper. That's not the point of this car. But two, you can drive this thing for like 200,000 miles and be a-okay. That was unbelievably worth the $1,500 that you can spend on it, because I found one for $1,500, baby. That's it. That's it. 1,500 bucks for this thing, buddy, and you get 180 horsepower in a reliable ass car. Number 9 is such a good position because they just barely escaped the last place, and today it's going to the Subaru Forester 1st generation. Yes, that's right, buddy old pal. I'm telling you to buy a damn Forester, and I'm doing it with pride because it comes with the exact same motor that they put in the WRXs, except they took the turbos off of them because they were like, hey, you don't need a turbocharger, this is a wagon. So it's a 2.5 liter flat 4 that makes 165 horsepower, and of course it was all-wheel drive as well, since it's a Subaru, and Subarus like just need to be all-wheel drive for some reason. But in my personal opinion, the coolest part about these cars is actually how easy it is to swap them to rear-wheel drive and drift them. Like, there are actually a lot of people out there that decide they want to drift their Subaru Foresters, and they go out there and just weld the center diff, take out the front axles, and they're fine. And it's honestly pretty surprising. And since you can find them for $2,000 exactly, I'd say that that is probably one of the cheapest drift cars out there, to be honest. Number 8 is actually one of the cheapest drift cars out there, though. It is the bloody BMW 325i E90, which, yes, I know the E90 is the ugly duckling of the BMW 3 Series line, and you're probably typing right now about how if it doesn't have a freaking N54 in it that you don't want it. But hear me out, buddy, all right? Hear me out. This is one of the newest cars on this list, and it comes with a 2.5 liter inline 6, making a very nice 215 horsepower, and that went to either the rear wheels or all of the wheels. Okay, all 4 of them, or 3 if you drive one of those Reliant vehicles. You know what I'm talking about? Like I said at the beginning, this car is just an absolute great candidate for a drift car, and nobody does it. They're just so cheap for what they are, and at the end of the day, they're a modern BMW with 215 horsepower that you can find for only 2 grand. And that, yes, the one that is in this picture, it does look like the guy wanted to turn it into like a chalkboard or something, but that is such a good deal, man. Number 7, however, is more built to just be like a good daily driver. It's not like a great drift car or anything like that, but it's the Audi A4 B7. And before you say, this guy just told us to buy 2 German unreliable poop socks of cars in a row, stop that, because you're spreading false information. The Audi A4 was actually voted the 9th most reliable car in the world, which is insanely good, in case you don't know. Think about all the cars out there, okay? Every single one of them. The Audi A4 most likely beat that car in reliability. That's pretty good. Plus, they are fun. They came with a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4, making 200 horsepower exactly, which is pretty damn good, man. And of course, they are paired with Audi's Quattro all-wheel drive system, which means snow drifting is going to become one of your best friends. Also, this is personally my favorite generation of the like 4 Series line of Audis out there. I mean, just look at it. It's a good-looking freaking car, and it performs really well too. And you can get all of that for only $2,000. And once you do buy it, you get to say, hey, I have Mark's favorite Audi 4 Series. Number 6, however, is the complete opposite of the Audi A4. It's unreliable, it's not a good daily driver, but it's sporty as all hell. It's the Pontiac Fiero GT. Yes, this car still exists, and they are for sale since nobody out there seems to want them for some reason. I'm about to say the hottest take of all time. These cars look cooler than the MR2. I said it, and I do not care. I think they look cooler than the MR2. I'd rather own an MR2, but I think they look cooler than the MR2. Anyways, these cars come with a 2.8-liter V6, making only 140 horsepower, which isn't that great, but there are a couple of selling points on it. First off, it was rear-wheel drive. That's fun. Next is it was mid-engined. That's dangerous. Third is they are incredibly lightweight at only 2,400 pounds. That's only like 200 pounds more than a freaking Miata. So if you put all of that stuff together, you pretty much have a more dangerous MR2 Miata mix-up. And who doesn't like that? Plus, since everybody is incredibly scared, they cost only $2,000 for a non-GT version. But if you do look hard enough, you can find the GT for that much. I just didn't want to spend that much time looking for the picture because I'm lazy. Number 5, halfway done with the list, and it's going to another American car, but this one comes with a damn V8, baby. Should have had a V8. It's the Ford Crown Victoria. This freaking poopy boy comes with a pretty damn good 4.6-liter V8, making 239 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. So this thing is pretty much a muscle car in sheep's clothing, man. And yes, you may look like a police officer, which is like every car guy's worst nightmare out there, but at least they're not going to pull you over, all right? Just think about that for just 1 second. Like, yeah, you're gonna look weird to the rest of the car guys, and we're gonna be scared of you, but the police are gonna see you and be like, oh, there goes one of us. So this is a great thing. Also, I can only imagine like how much fun it is gapping somebody in this car, since it's just a certified sleeper that you can buy for as cheap as you want, to be honest, if you get it at auction. But I found one on Marketplace for only $1,700 with 125,000 miles on it, and that is a pretty damn good deal, son. Number 4 is the car that everybody in the world looks at when they're broke and they want a fun car, the damn Honda Civic, specifically the 6th generation Civic, or EK Civic. This generation comes with a 1.6-liter inline-4, making only 125 horsepower to the front wheels for the base models. And yes, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to find an SI for under $2,000. And if you do manage to find a Type R for under $2,000, call me, because you're doing something. I need to figure out what it is you're doing. But the base model is the best we got here. But no worries, because it's still a Civic, so you can modify this thing to be faster than the Type R with only like $1,000. And since the car itself only costs $1,600, yes, you heard me right, $1,600, that's a dirt cheap amount of money, you are in the clear for a quick little street car. Just don't let it get stolen, because everybody seems to want to steal Civics. But literally, if you buy that, $1,600, buy a Civic, buy a turbo kit, maybe $1,000. You now have like a car that can gap Hellcats for $2,600. Third place, baby, the bronze of medals, and it has to go to another American car because for some reason I can't get enough of them, apparently. It is the Camaro RS 4th generation. I don't know what it is, but American car companies either miss horribly or they nail it right on the freaking spot. And this generation Camaro was definitely a miss in the car community. But that's a good thing for you, because I found one for only $1,000 exactly, which is so little money. Like, I think you guys don't understand how little amounts of money that is. If you work like 2 weeks at a minimum wage job, and you can buy this car, maybe 3 weeks, and you can buy this car. And once you do, you now have a 3.8-liter V6 that makes 200 horsepower to the rear wheels. And yes, I know, I'm sorry for telling you to buy another V6 muscle car, but listen, it is a Camaro for under $2,000, which is incredibly cheap. And you get to do some burnouts with them because they're rear-wheel drive. Like, not a lot of people get to say, yeah, I spent less than $2,000 on my Camaro, all right? That's a very, very good amount of money. All right, so the silver medal number 2 spot, it belongs to the Euro boys with the Volkswagen GTI Mark IV. Yes, that is right, my good sir. You can buy a Mark IV GTI under $2,000. And once you do, you get the wonderful, oh so sexy, PP Hardening 1.8 liter turbocharged inline 4, making 150 horsepower to the front wheels, of course. And this is just such a good tuner car. I just have to put it there. I just have to put it here at number 2. Okay, it's just so good for tuning. If you want a good street car that's still reliable enough to get you to work and back on time, and you don't have to be like incredibly ugly looking while you're doing it too, buy the Mark IV GTI, man. These things are rippers. Plus, you now have all the space of a hatchback too, which is always just handy mandy dandy. And you get all of that for under $2,000, man. Like, I don't even really like Volkswagen that much, but I cannot argue the facts here. That is a very good deal. You get the best of all worlds, the practicality of a hatchback, the reliability of Volkswagen, and you get the sportiness of the GTI. It's amazing. It is honorable mention time, baby. That's right. We're teasing you with that number 1 spot with the honorable mention, and it has to go to the Mitsubishi Eclipse 3rd generation, or 3G. I didn't want to put it on the actual list because it really isn't that great. I don't really like it too much, but it comes with a 3-liter V6 making 200 horsepower exactly to the front wheels, which is pretty damn good, I'm not going to lie, but there's a couple of downsides. 1, the car is heavy. 2, it's not that reliable at all. 3, it personally, in my opinion, it doesn't look that good. And 4, it's front wheel drive. But I found one for only $1,500 running and driving with a manual transmission as well, which most certainly you're going to have a lot of fun with. It's just not my cup of tea. But of course, we are at the number 1 spot, and of course I have saved the best for last. It's the Infiniti G35 Sedan, my boy. Yes, I may be a little bit biased since I own a 350Z, but hear me out. It comes with the exact same engine as the 350Z, a 3.5 liter V6 that makes 287 horsepower to the rear wheels, or you can be boring and get it as all-wheel drive. Yes, you can get 287 horsepower to the rear wheels for less than $2,000, bro, which is just an amazing, amazing deal. Now, I'm going to be honest, the VQ isn't that great for tuning, but it doesn't have to be when it already makes close to 300 horsepower out of the gate. In my opinion, I don't like the looks of this car at all, okay? It looks horrible. But if I were to buy any of these cars on the list, it would most likely be the G35 Sedan. I might buy the Mark IV GTI, but just because it's front-wheel drive, I just can't do it. But in my personal opinion, it just has the best bang for your buck out there for under $2,000. And it's still an amazing candidate for an amazing drift car as well. They're just such good cars. They're dirt cheap, rear-wheel drive. It comes with a VQ, all right? Like, what else do you want? But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what other videos you guys like to see. Yes, this series is going to still be happening. I'm not going to stop this series, but it's gonna take a little bit of time, guys. I don't want to make it like all in a row. I have other things I want to do, you know, the good, bad, and uglies. I want to build the 350Z. I want to do reviews and all that kind of stuff. So just stay patient. But they're coming. Just stay patient. All right, buddy? All right. Just wanted to get that out there. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know any other cars for under $2,000 that are a good deal. There's not that many out there, but I'm trying to give you guys the best. And next week will most likely be the under $3,000 video. And with that out of the way, guys, das vidanya. I love each and every one of you. Have a good day.